top story tonight at 6. Lieutenant Robert Milam risked everything to save his fiancée from that devastating house fire.
It's a moment that likely saved both of their lives. 11 Alive's Teresa Bowles joining us live from the scene of that fire in Cartersville. Teresa, can you paint a picture for us tonight? What exactly is left of this home?
Yeah, so much, Faith. I'm here off of Highway 113 in Bartow County, and this home is a total loss. But what Mr. Robert Milam says is really important is what he didn't lose. A cracking noise in the night jerks Lieutenant Robert Milam out of his sleep.
I didn't think a whole lot of it. I kind of rolled back over.
But then the noise again. When he goes to investigate, something stops him in his tracks.
In one of the corners, there was flames going from the floor up to the ceiling.
It's coming from his recreation room. Milam went to grab a hose in an effort to put it out, but the fire was slowly surrounding him, trapping him as it consumes most of this Cartersville home.
I went back to the doorway that I came through, and by that time, the flames had done spread, and they had covered the doorway.
His fiancée, Misty, is behind that door. As a Kennesaw State University police officer, he doesn't think twice, running through the flames to find her.
I really didn't think about anything other than what I had to do, and that was get her out of there.
Milam was able to rescue Misty, but now there's the obstacle of his injuries. Milam says he has burns from head to toe.
About 18 to 22% of my body was burnt.
He's had multiple surgeries and a long road to recovery, but he says he's grateful for the outpouring of support he's received from the community.
I'm not sure I've ever felt this much support and love. Makes me feel like I'm more liked than I thought I was.
And Milam expects to be released from the hospital once he completes another surgery next week, and then he plans to go back to the KSU Police Department.
Ready to continue to serve, which is incredible. Teresa, do you know if he was able to salvage anything?
Well, Faith, he hasn't had a chance to dig through that rubble just yet, but he says his pets disappeared in the midst of all the chaos of the fire, and if anything, he's hoping they turn up. Live in Bartow County, Teresa Bowles, 11 Alive News.
We are certainly hoping they turn up as well as a swift recovery for him. Teresa, thank you so much. An online fundraiser to help Milam and his family is linked right now on 11alive.com.
He went from prison to founding his own Barber College. His hope now preventing others from following his criminal path.
But now his dream is in danger of getting clipped. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy spoke with the founder of the Atlanta Barber Institute about the struggles he's facing.
When Gregory Rutledge got out of prison for the second time back in 2021, he wanted to make a positive change in his life and help others from running into the same challenges. That was an inspiration for opening the Atlanta Barber Institute. He says the program has educated hundreds of students over the years and is in danger of closing.
Because I've been basically running school by myself since its inception. I haven't received any financial aid. All of my students basically pay out of pocket.
Rutledge wants every student who comes through his doors to go on to successful careers as barbers and has never turned anyone away because they can't pay.
The reason it's a reverse freehand is because the palm is still facing.
Mitchell McLeod is one of those students.
I really didn't have any money to pay for barber school. I already had to pay a little bit out of pocket for school, and he basically just kind of told me, like, well, look, we'll take a little bit off the overhead tuition.
Rutledge says he's done this for countless students over the years, even using his own money for their equipment, giving a leg up to students like Charles Lanier, who has been a licensed barber for a couple years.
And he brought me my first box. Like, it had clippers in there, it had insecticides in there, it had neck strips, it had a cape, it had guards, it had everything to get you started off.
Because Rutledge has continued to put his students' needs above balancing the books, he's fallen behind in paying his lease here at the Greenbrier Mall. Right now, he owes $27,000 and is at risk of losing the school. He's hoping a grant he's applied for will come through sometime in November, but needs help to pay the bills in the meantime.
Well, I definitely know how to manage. It's just, needing the resources in order to get, further, down the road.
The Atlanta Black Chambers has organized a fundraiser to help out the school. We have a link to that fundraiser on our website. That's 11alive.com. Reporting from Atlanta, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Faith Jesse, and for Jennifer Bellamy tonight. And tonight, a report from Atlanta Fire is revealing more about an accident that resulted in the deaths of 2 Delta employees and injured another. In this report, workers described running away from a tire explosion early this morning at the Technical Operations Maintenance Facility near Hartsfield-Jackson's International Terminal. Well, right now, Delta is not saying that the tire exploded. In fact, they say that this tire was being disassembled and that the accident is currently under investigation.
And the 2 employees killed have been identified as Luis Alderondo of Noonan and Mirko Marweg of Stone Mountain. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido joins us live from the airport right now. Angelina, you were the only local reporter to speak with Marweg's son just an hour ago. What did you learn about him?
Well, Mirko's son Andre tells me that his dad worked for Delta for over 20 years and was actually set to retire in about 2 to 3 months. He worked here in the painting shop and did maintenance for Delta. He always made sure that his family was taken care of, and they were shocked to get the call they received this morning.
I could tell him something. Right now, I would tell him no more suffering. You had your time here with us. Now it's time for you to be with God.
Praying for strength.
I'm not really believing it happened.
Andre Coleman grieves the loss of his father. 58-year-old Mirko Marweg loved his family.
Amazing guy. Wonderful father. Wonderful husband. That's the old man and my mom.
How long were they together?
Over 20-some years.
Anything his family needed, Marweg was there. The 58-year-old served in the Air Force for 4 years and worked for MARTA. Delta would be his last job.
Delta called them and said that they had an accident and he was killed.
According to Delta, Marweg and 37-year-old Luis Alderondo died just after 5 a.m. while working with wheel components being disassembled for maintenance that were not on an aircraft. Another co-worker was seriously injured.
I wanted to view the body because I didn't believe it was true. Neither did my mom. What we were told, we couldn't view it as unrecognizable. So we identified him by tattoos and his Mississippi State lanyard around his neck. I'll make sure I keep your legacy alive and who you are alive while on this earth.
Now, the last time that Andre physically saw his dad was on Sunday. They changed the oil on his motorcycle, something that he and his dad would do frequently. They are just asking that everyone keep their family in their prayers at this time. We also reached out to Luis Alderondo's family, who are also grieving after this tragic accident that happened this morning. We're still working to get in contact with them. We're live tonight at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Gosh, a story that really just breaks your heart. Our thoughts are certainly with his family. A hard story for everyone involved. Angelina, thank you so much for bringing us that report. We'll make sure to keep all of you at home updated on this investigation on air and online.
Phil, 7-year-old is defying the odds after a life-changing injury. This is Brinley Stevenson. We first told you about her and her mom, Tina, on Thanksgiving night. This is just days after a serious T-bone crash nearly took their lives.
Tonight, 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido. It's live from Children's Scottish Rite Hospital in Sandy Springs. And Angelina, doctors say that Brinley's recovery is really remarkable here. What can you tell us about how she's doing tonight?
Well, when we first met the Stevensons, doctors didn't know if Brinley would move again. Tonight, her mom tells me that their heartache has turned into hope. The tears that they're crying are from joy, and Brinley is inspiring everyone around her.
You got this. Breathe.
This 7-year-old's resilience is greater than words can describe.
It's so emotional that there's so many adjectives that you can put out there. But she's here. She's here.
Brinley Stevenson is defying the odds.
She's a fighter. She's a getter.
Days before Thanksgiving, she and her mom were in an accident that changed their life. T-bone just minutes away from home.
And I have nights where I just look at her laying there asleep and I just cry still, like, she has to go through this, and it's not fair. She don't deserve it.
Weeks later, Tina Stevenson's injuries are healing, and Brinley's fight is paying off.
Brinley, you're walking, Mommy. I just stood there, and I just cried, and I cried, and then I laughed, and I was cheering, and I was like, go, Brinley, go. Brinley, go, Brinley, go. My baby is alive, and she's moving. She's moving. And I mean, she's blowing it out of the water.
She's determined to beat all the challenges. Her life is a gift.
It's a miracle. And you hear about Christmas miracles all the time, but for me, this is the best miracle a mom can ask for.
Now, the real Christmas miracle here is going to be Brinley being discharged from here and being able to make it home for Christmas. Now, that could happen. She is supposed to be going home just days before Christmas and being able to be there with her family. Right now, they know that they have a long journey ahead, but they are planning Brinley's homecoming. We're live tonight in Sandy Springs. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Man, what a huge blessing there, Angelina. Thank you. We appreciate it. We're going to
it.
recognize these 5 UGA students right there on your screen. The Burke County Sheriff's Office says that they helped save lives after a car crash. Look at that video there. Officers say the young women saw the vehicle leave the roadway, roll over into the creek, and they quickly turned around, went to the crash, jumped into the water to save the driver and the 2 kids. Great job there, ladies.